pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the meeting is being audiotaped. And we'll proceed with public comment. I have Miss Mia McMillan.
That's me.
Can you give your address? Where you live?
McKinley Street.
McKinley Street, okay.
I understand that at the last meeting, my son, who is a minor, who is here with me, was somewhat of a point of discussion in regards to shooting his pellet gun. And I had concerns about the fact that he was addressed during an open meeting. He was also then approached by a council person and given direction. At no point was I ever contacted as his parent.
Okay.
So I just wanted to bring that up in this meeting to say that if there is an issue with a child, specifically my child, because that's my concern, I would hope that in the future we would A, not use their names, and B, approach the person that's responsible for them. I also wanted to thank Michael for providing me with a copy of the tape of the meeting so that I could actually see what happened. Not only did he give me a copy, but I was able to view it currently on the website, which I think was really helpful, so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
After the meeting, and after my son was approached, I had a wonderful conversation with our mayor and also with Paula Henry to discuss what my son was actually shooting, and both gave me permission for him to shoot in our backyard. I just wanted to show you what he's actually shooting, because at the time it was discussed, it was a pellet gun, and it's certainly not a pellet gun, it's a little airsoft gun. So after a conversation with both Paula and the mayor, specifically Paula, she advised me to bring an example of a pellet and an example of what he's shooting to show you, so that you all see that they're really harmless. So if I can approach, I'll show everybody. So this is a pellet, and these are not allowed in the borough, and this is not what he's shooting. These are metal.
I have no history.
Good.
Those are.
Yeah, these are the metal pellets.
Yeah.
Okay. These are biodegradable. Whoop, there you go.
They roll up.
That's your Harley. Thank you. And this is the target that he's shooting at in the backyard. Our backyard is completely fenced in. And you can see with these pellets, there's no chance of breaking a window, no chance of hurting anyone. You can't shoot your eye out, kid. We go to an airsoft arena where they shoot each other with these things. No one gets hurt. So I did receive permission from Paula after the meeting and the mayor that these are okay, but I wanted it on record in this setting because formally on record, it was not okay.
We're going to have to go look in the ordinance.
Yeah, first of all, I'm glad you came to the meeting. Not many people do that. That's very good. And I have to tell you, apparently, if the tape shows that we used his name, I don't remember it, and it shouldn't happen.
Does the tape show his name?
It does.
Okay, honestly, I didn't know that. When you said that, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
His name
that.
was mentioned specifically twice with our address. My name was also mentioned. I'm okay with myself because I'm an adult. And when I spoke with Paula, she said, you know, we're gonna make sure that his name's not in the minutes. And she apologized several times for it actually happening. His name is not in the minutes, I checked it.
What council person first talked to you?
No one spoke to me.
Oh, okay, I'll talk to you. Okay. Or your son, who spoke to your son? I'm sorry, that's what I meant to say.
It was Mrs. Capone, and I'm sure she's very sweet, and I'm sure it was harmless, and I love Nancy. But on the same token, I'm responsible if he is doing something illegally. I'm responsible for the fine, I'm responsible for his behavior. And so to have the discussion here and then approach the child without any discussion with the parent, I thought was probably not appropriate.
You make a very valid point.
Yeah, I apologize. I didn't realize it. When you said that, I didn't realize if we used his name or somebody used his name, you know. I know, I remember McMillan, I didn't really realize, you know, it's your responsibility.
And I don't think we're questioning the pellet. What we're questioning is the vehicle that expels the bullet.
Mhm.
We'll call it bullet, BB. And you don't want to call it BB, what do you want to call it? It's same size consistency, regardless of
Yeah.
a biodegradable. It still comes out of the vehicle in the same way. So I think it's something we have to check into to see the validity of it.
And
Well, definitely, yeah.
and when I spoke with Paula, and I think the mayor, I'm not sure, and I apologize, I don't know who the mayor is, if he's here. He was very kind. When I spoke with both of them and described the gun, it really is like, I could shoot you from here and you wouldn't feel it. And it's certainly not gonna impel this paper. The paper's meant to bounce off and you can kind of make a mark. So it's really just not.
How did we get to this conversation in the first place of the last meeting? What prompted
I think Nancy brought it up at the meeting.
She did, and what I did to be proactive, just so you all know, I spoke with the state police and I spoke with our local police, and I actually called the game commission and had long conversations with everybody about this type of gun and him shooting, and everybody said, yeah, like, these are really harmless guns. It's not an AK-47, it's really not gonna go through the paper. So everybody, local, state, and the game commission all said, you have no issues.
What I would like to do, if you don't mind, I'd like to come down and see it before I make it. I'd like to make a informed decision.
Sure.
And I'd like to see it, because
Okay.
right now in my mind, I see a gun.
And I can, you know, if you all want, I can run down and grab it and be back before the meeting's over.
Well, no, because then other people want to bring their guns and show up to us too.
And that's why I didn't bring it.
Yeah, that's good. That's
I knew
good
Bob
thinking.
was gonna be here, or assumed he would. So I was actually gonna bring it and give it to Bob, but I didn't wanna put him in that position of carrying the gun.
Yeah.
We'll review the ordinance. If there's any issue on our part, we'll have Officer Gahagan stop you, talk to you personally, or one of us will contact you, or call or something. We'll make sure, you know, we do have an ordinance on it, we'll review it, see exactly what it says, you know.
Okay.
But I apologize, you know, for his name being mentioned.
And when can I expect a decision? Because this child is dying to shoot this thing again.
I'll speak to Officer Gahagan tonight, but I'll have to pull up the ordinance. We don't have the ordinance. We don't have it here. We'll copy it.
No. I don't have mine. No.
Is it even in the minutes?
It is.
I would say, give us a day or two. We'll have the answer soon.
Okay, Paula has my cell phone number.
Okay.
The mayor should have my cell phone number. Carly has my cell phone number. So I'm really easy to get a hold of, and again, I'm not one of those parents that wants complete control. If you all see my kid doing something wrong, please correct his behavior.
Okay.
But
Next door to-
also contact me, because ultimately, if there's a $600 fine, you all aren't paying it.
Officer Gahagan, can you obtain a copy of that tonight, the orders? Okay. We'll speak to him.
What's the first three letters? What's your number?
Mia,
No.
my house number, 305.
Okay. We'll get back to you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. You all have the minutes in front of you for March 2018. I'd like the motion to approve the minutes if you're all okay with it.
I'll make a motion.
One second.
Motion by Mickey Lang, second by Harry Moore to approve March 2018 minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Mayor's report, obviously he's not here, but please.
Nothing
of January, first through February. There were 11 citations issued this morning. In the non-traffic, there were issued for additional electronic and public drunkenness. In criminal charges, there were filed for theft, drugs, drug paraphernalia, possession of narcotics, possession with intent to deliver narcotics, DUI, and there were 4 warrant arrests made also. In our notes and notices here to the public, springs upon us, so watch out for the potholes, distracted drivers, and construction. We would also like to note and thank the members of the Fire and Watch for information leading to arrests through investigations done by the department.
That it? Any questions for the police officer? Okay. Moving on to committee reports. Public Works.
Well, we're waiting for decent weather. That's about it right now. We replaced one major sewer line on Harrison Street, which there had been a collapse on the berm.
Is that the one down by Jim Zabisky's down there?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And we replaced about 60 feet of it.
Okay.
And there's, at one time, 34 years ago, somebody broke it. And it took that long for it to show itself. And the way it was repaired was with inadequate material. And so it's all been taken care of. And like I said, we're waiting on decent weather so we can get outside.
Hopefully, how's our solar hold up this year?
We're good. Yeah.
I think we ordered an extra 25 ton, it was just in time, that was for that 6-inch snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just ordered it done.
They were definitely out, I saw them.
Yeah.
Early in the morning too. They didn't really go.
Yeah. You know something, I don't think, I think I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Public Works and what they do for our streets. I feel that most of the snow is done. I don't think we're going to get any more sort of priority work, but just think they need to be recognized for the job they did on our streets. Our streets are impeccable. For years I've traveled this county, our streets always have been good, and they kept them up. I mean, they were out all hours of the night, long hours, 12, 13, 14 hours. Our streets were clear, falling the snow. It's just a job well done. I just think they need to be recognized.
I agree.
And I've had people from out of town come in and say, well, you guys are so lucky.
Yeah.
But it was
Takes a little extra work, takes a little extra material, takes a little extra money for their work and the time, but I think it's well worth it.
Did the streets hold up pretty good for all the
Yeah.
no potholes in the area? I've seen a few, but not, you know.
They're not back there, they're not
Okay, buildings.
better.
Okay, but that's here. Finance, which is you.
Nothing at this time. I've talked to Carla already. We're going to get a finance meeting together, get some numbers from her, and we'll do it.
Personnel. Shade tree. Police, nothing. Crime watch.
Yes, I do. We're going to have our first Crime Watch meeting a week from tomorrow night, which will be April 10th at 7 o'clock. Could I speak to you about senior citizens?
Sure.
Already wanted me to mention that they're going to start back on April the 3rd, Thursday at 12:30. The 3rd Thursday, I don't know what date is it.
Which is what?
Senior citizens, they're starting back up. They don't meet in the winter time because they're afraid to come
What
back.
time?
12:30.
Okay. Any other reports, committees? Executive session? Unfinished business.
I have one. And this is on, we talked about a number of ordinances. The garbage can ordinance, we talked about a couple other items. I was to look into the door hangers. So I called down to Frank Company, have a sample made up. I reviewed them just a little while ago with Officer Cahagan to see if there's anything to add or delete. He didn't see anything right off the bat. These are just a proof. These would be whatever color we wanted. I was going to suggest orange. The blue in the center up there was a hole, would be punched out for the doorknob. The garbage can ordinance, a check mark to remove from border right of way, such as something it's there in our border right of way, it should not be, whether it be a vehicle, a trailer, anything you want to suggest. High grass, prohibit burning, snow removal, walkway obstructions, dangerous structure, and junk vehicle. And at the bottom, there's you have 48 hours to make your corrections, and a description that the officer, whoever's sending down, or whoever's attaching the doorknob to the doorknob, the notice of violation. A description if they need approval description, such as trailer parking border right of way, or grass, whatever it states in the ordinance, it's higher than it should be. I just need for you to tell me what you want me to do. If you want to wait till the other board members are here, because we have, what, 2 are here? 2.
3.
Paul?
Nancy and Paula.
Oh. So, whatever you want to do, just give me the direction you want to go.
I'd like to do it on as quick as
Yeah, I was
possible.
gonna say,
I'd also like to get a phone number on there though. I know they can write the number in there, but I'd like to see our phone number on there somewhere where they can contact us.
Okay, that's a good idea.
That's gonna, if somebody has a question, that's the first thing you're gonna
And
want.
we can put that number between West Catania Police there, we can put that number right in that circle.
Okay.
That sound all right?
That's good to me.
And by the way, this garbage can ordinance, we got to get busy with it. I know that Paula just had their dog sprayed the other day. And they're digging under my one building, and I'm sure they're digging through other parts of the borough also. So
are we going to have that company come in again if this goes?
They've been contacted.
Okay.
We just go to the last meeting again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you weren't here. Well, on this, we didn't approve this, we have to approve this then.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
body.
we haven't approved, if there's anything you want to add or delete, that's my question. Now, you only have so much room on the card,
Yeah.
so if you're gonna add something, you gotta delete something. Which, if you mind right now, I don't have one with me. Do we have any of the orange ones?
I can get you one.
Why don't you bring 4 or 5 out so you can see what's on that, so we don't duplicate it on this. So if you want to add something, it's already on the orange card. And what we have on this one, the orange card, I took it off there and put it on this. But let him get that so you can compare it.
Well,
Maybe if something in your mind that's already in the orange card, we don't have to put it on this one.
I think it's a minor thing, but I think by high grass, you should do /brush too, put brush after it, not with a slash. Because,
High grass,
/brush, because, hedges, something like that, brush is considered that, I would say.
All those people that come and complain about brush.
Yeah, so, just a thought. Other than that, the phone number, I'm okay with it.
Did they give you any kind of cost estimate on it?
I think there was on the email, I forget what it was.
Sorry, I just wondering.
I think it was, I didn't bring the email, I just brought the attachment.
Which printing company is it for?
This is the printing company downtown. What we call the printing company?
Yeah, that's the breast and the graphics.
Yeah, no,
The Main Street.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the ones that are there 2 days a week.
Yeah, actually, that was bought out by a guy down in Creighton.
Creighton.
Express print graphics.
Huh?
Express print graphics or something?
Yeah.
Could be.
It's a nice.
I've dealt with him before, the county level, they do a great work.
We waiting on something?
The orange cards.
Okay.
But, you know, we can come back to this if you want to move on.
Immediately?
I think so.
All right, somebody make a motion.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to go ahead and, obtain 500 of these to start. Because the season's fast approaching.
Well, it's coming, yeah, yeah.
And make sure he puts it in the paper.
Yeah. I need a second.
Motion, one second.
I'll make, second it.
Motion by Henry Moore, second by Michelle Lang to purchase 500 of the door hanging pamphlets, I guess you want to call them? Correction?
Door hangers.
Door hangers. Door hangers.
Notifications.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any more unfinished business? How we make out Paul on the one-way street?
Oh, unfinished business, yeah, we have that to discuss. Under unfinished business, the Lincoln Avenue. Several things going on is, I got a phone call from our solicitor this morning. He's working on that ordinance. Did anybody type it up? I forgot.
I printed it out. He emailed it to me.
Yeah, I had a couple of questions on it, and as you recall, Lincoln Avenue is a street that is 12 foot wide, only to a certain point, then it becomes 10 foot wide. Cars park up there on the street. We can't get a plow truck through there. We can't get a fire truck through there, fire engine. We're going to eliminate parking on the right side. There's 3 homes on the right side, actually 4, the one on the corner, then there's 3 others that all have driveways. Permit parking only on the left side. The ordinance, the original, has it one way, because we're wrong, it's illegal, we have it going the wrong direction for the first ordinance. Ordinance says south to north, and we have it from north to south. So that's been changed, north to south. The only other area of concern in my phone conversation with him is from the corner of Hill Avenue and 15 feet, no parking on the left side, and that's by that retaining wall, because once they park in front of that retaining wall, you can't get around it, or it's very difficult. So no parking in the first 15 feet. Now, I haven't been up there to measure, and I talked to Councilman Morris before we started the meeting. He didn't go out and measure. We need to measure that to make sure it's 15 feet, not 20 feet. That's the only change that would be. The other is, in the ordinance, as he stated, from Hill Avenue, but it doesn't say what side of Hill Avenue. It should state the most south point, Southern Avenue, or Lincoln Avenue. Because Hill Street is 12 foot wide. If someone said, well, I took it from the north side, we lost 12 feet. So now we only have 3 feet. So it should change to be 15 feet or 20, whatever we measure, from the most southern point of Hill Street. Do I have Hill Street? So I would, he has the ordinance ready to go. I didn't print it out. You did. But I think before we determine if it's going to be 15 or 20 feet, and then he changes from the south point of Hill Avenue, and at the same time, while they are doing the surveying on Pine Hill for the water runoff project, if we get the grant, they are also doing the exact boundaries of where Lincoln begins from Pine Hill. Because really, we don't know where it is for paving. Because you remember, that area in front belongs to the Pine Hill School. So we got to exactly see where that comes in and how we're going to, and then if the decision we make on this ordinance is relative to that survey or the engineering.
So you're going to change
So I'd like to
the
actually postpone this ordinance,
one way from the north to south, from south to north.
north to south, the way it is right now, although the ordinance says south to north.
Okay.
Yeah, the way the traffic goes right now is not how it's stated in the ordinance that it's to go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's wrong. So anybody that, was up there on a complaint that people were coming in through the other end, well, they're correct.
Is that the only one-way street we have in this community?
Yeah.
Other than Hill.
Hill on that one is the only.
Hill and that one are the only two we have.
I never thought about it, but yeah, that's right.
It's the only two.
So right now, I'd like to kind of put that ordinance to hold off for another, even next meeting or the following meeting, till we get this engineering done and we see where the real Lincoln Avenue is. Because right now, he has a mark up there in the orange, but they're gonna put it on paper, transfer the survey on the paper so we can see it.
Here's the date for me when they made that one.
It doesn't say.
I remember it being too late.
It doesn't say the date.
There's nothing in the, bylaws. That's what we have.
Doesn't say. Do you want it?
No, I believe you. No.
No, I mean, you just want to
I just
review.
wonder because I remember when I used to be the previous street. Oh, well, you just waited. There weren't that many people that lived there, so they waited if somebody was coming in or going out. Because once you hit the end of like where Hedrick's used to live, then that's when the street narrows. Because the fencing, the garage,
That's all on borough property.
Yeah.
well, a lot of things in this can remember.
Well, but that's definitely right there. You look at the map and you go up and walk it. And it has been surveyed. And they're doing the storm runoff survey.
Okay. Any more unfinished business?
Yeah, years ago, we started revising the bylaws book,
Okay.
years ago.
Yeah.
With 2010, they said.
Yeah.
That's how long
The
the
last
company has
time.
had this book.
that
This is 2018. We have nothing up to date. We just got a email, Carla got one, I got one, we probably, the rest of the board members did, that they offered us a price on 10 books. And everything will be updated up until the day that they ship them.
Is that what's on to do? Is this a new updating code book? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we should go ahead and proceed in getting a couple of these books to have them around so we know what's up to date, not up to date. And it's like the ordinance on Lincoln Avenue that's wrong in that
And
book.
chain it somewhere in here so it doesn't take legs.
This estimate would give us 10, like, binder, the 3-ring binders of the updated code book. You know, like he said, up to whatever date they would ship them, really. And, yeah, the last time it was done was 2010, so there's been a lot of new stuff since then, and I've even found some older things that will be added in too. So, and then, once we have new legislation after the fact, like we just send it into them and they can just give us supplements
Yeah, we can add them in.
as we go that are not as costly. But this is, the cost will not exceed $3,400.
This is the same company that did our book.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I put a whole bunch of stuff and they were able to like look at it and see like.
They're charging us by the book or by the, we're doing the codes, what are they charging us for? And the code's already done, apparently.
Well, there's some old stuff that had to be reread and taken out.
Well, yeah, but did they charge us for that?
No, we haven't been charged anything.
Well, they
Yeah.
didn't
Well, that's my point, I'm asking, were they charging us for the binders or are they charging us for the work, the $3,400? Because what I'm saying is this, if you take $3,000, you get 10, that's $300 apiece. You have 7 council people and a secretary, that's 8, 9,
Larry needs one.
9, 10.
Well, he'll get one.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because I'm trying to kind of, you know,
one.
it's that $300 savings if you got 9, but I'm just asking a question, they charge us for the binder, or they charge us for the work?
They're charging us.
No, they didn't.
It says 10 complete binders, so it must be everything in it. You know,
Yeah, they
so.
didn't break it down,
Yeah.
break the cost down. All it says was.
10 complete reprints of updated code shrink wrap book.
Could I make a suggestion? If each council person gets one of those, when your term is done on council, it should be given back to council. So
Yeah.
There'll be a resolution
people
for
put
that.
on.
Exactly, yes. And, you know, we're gonna, somewhere along the line tonight or any night, make that motion, that should be in the motion. Then you're obligated.
You want me to make it in the form of a motion?
Sure.
We haven't got them yet, or where do we get them?
No, we have to order them.
Okay.
This will be purchasing the books, you want to purchase them, what you're making.
I make a motion to purchase the books for
Updated code books.
the books.
How many?
10.
Mr. Vice President, can I say something?
If you, on question, that's, we get a second on the motion, we get a second on it.
You're gonna add it to, each council member after they are off of council has to return
I
their
can
vote.
add that to it, yes.
That should be in it.
Okay, my motion should read that, I make a motion that the West County Borough order 10 books for the new coded update book, and that after each council person gets one, and then after their term goes off, then they give it back to council, so the new person on council can get it.
You all heard the motion, second by Henry? Yeah, do you want to?
Question on the motion.
Question, go ahead.
I was on council when that first took effect. I believe we paid for them, but the council never went through and approved them.
Correct.
Approve paying when you buy the books, you mean?
No, approved what they gave us back, because a lot of stuff was not put in there.
They were,
Go ahead.
they were held and not ever discussed. It kept being brought up at meetings, and it was, oh, well, council needs to read that and then make a motion to approve that, because supposedly they did away with some of the really old ordinances and combined some stuff. And the approval, Jim is correct, the approval was never, the motion was never made because the people on council never read the code book. In fact, I think they were in boxes for years.
That's been a while, it's been a long time ago too, that's been at least 10 years.
Well,
Probably.
it was done in 2010, but it was,
18 years, or 8 years.
Yeah.
yeah, but the motion was never made to accept the code book when it was first purchased anyway.
Well, so that brings up a good discussion, and thank you for the input. I think that, should we have them send us a copy for us to approve before we go buy them? I hate to buy a book we didn't review and find out that the stuff's not in it that should be.
But you're not approving their work, you're approving the ordinances. You might want to take a
No,
look at the book that you have.
I understood that part also. But again, just to rewrite it, the way they wrote them. And
you're saying-
What do we have now from them?
The blue binder book,
No.
the blue code book.
That they reworded everything, it's not like before if you wanted to look up the fence ordinance or, you know, whatever,
And
that's what it
council,
was under.
council never went through and
It's harder than heck to
checked
find
what was in
anything.
there and approved it.
So your question is you'd like to review it before the motion?
Yeah, I think we ought to review them,
Yeah.
because good points were made on that. I hate to spend $3,400 for something that's not correct or enforceable.
So you want to rescind your motion?
I want to rescind my motion.
Can we,
I'm not too sure it was funny, but
Well, no, but I mean, she's gonna resend
Contact
this.
the company and have.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get a call, you know, we'll see if we'll send us a book, you know,
Yeah, I'll see.
for,
I'll do it.
if not, somebody, the book she has, I guess we'll go through. If we have it.
is it something they will give us, a digital copy to look at as a proof?
I don't know about that.
I don't
We'll have to
know.
call and find out.
Yeah.
Well,
Because I have a
could somebody
blue,
get a committee together and
ordinance
get the
book.
book that she has and look at it?
Do we, and I'm, forgive me for not knowing this, but do we don't have it on, like, on a file anywhere, like on a hard drive file, we can look it up? So it's all in book form, right?
I
Yeah.
scanned it one time,
Yeah.
all like 200 pages, I think I scanned it, and I have it electronically, it's on the website.
Is that what it is?
It's on Mike's website.
It's a lot.
Hmm?
It's a lot.
Bobby, it's on my website.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on our website too.
I don't think everything's there.
Okay, well, we'll get a copy, we'll get together with, figure out
Yeah, before next meeting.
special projects.
You still have yours, Jim?
There you
I'll
go.
get it.
So, what, so the special projects committee will discuss it.
We'll get it, we'll get the book and go from there.
But it wasn't official.
Yeah.
Any more unfinished
You're
business?
exactly right.
Moving on to new business, that was first on the agenda for updating code books, and now we have the tax resolution. Henry, you have the information or who has the information?
This is for fiscal year 2018-19 for Town and Country Transit for our local match for the shared ride or fixed route bus service. It's a 5% increase over last fiscal year, which is the minimum that the state will permit them to charge the participating municipalities. And they mentioned in here that every dollar of local match leverages $13.50 of state funding to enable transportation to residents. So this is just a resolution to commit $4,522 for fiscal year 18-19 for our fixed route
How much is
service.
that? How much is that going for? You take 5%?
200 and something.
Yeah,
It was the budget.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Bob Bauer, seconded by
I'll second.
Marie Morris, or Marie?
I'll approve it.
Michelle Lamb, sorry. Marie, you second that, Marie?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Henry, what's new down there? What's going on down there?
We tore down the greenery, if everybody can see it. That's going to be a parking lot and a little garden.
Okay.
Across the street, we tore the loading ramp off of the other building, but was to no use to us at all. We gained 6 parking places out of that. And that big parking area beside, going north, there's a vacant lot right there right now where we park our buses because we have no building to put them in. We're going to go ahead and asphalt everything that is open right now. Now, most of that will probably be all completed by July. And there'll be a fenced-in area around the new building. The main building and office itself is going under a remodeling project. The inside is being remodeled. The outside, that stucco, which if you fall against it, you get cut, is going to be coming off. And I think we're going to put some kind of stone on there to dress it up. So that white texture is just full of dirt. You can't clean it. And the ridership's been doing good.
No update on that merge with Indiana County or something you were going to talk about?
It's nothing now.
Nothing yet, okay. All right. I haven't heard of that. That's good. I guess that's good news, huh?
Very good.
Any more new business?
Yes.
Yes.
Brought to my attention about a sinkhole, a recurring sinkhole over in the old Zitco lot between Mal's and the Dock Bookstore. If you remember, we had that caved in for years. Well, we filed a complaint, a number of people filed a complaint. They went in there and repaired it. They only repaired a certain part of it, as far as the new, lack of a better term, tunnel. Right now, where our water comes off of Nixon into the tunnel that carries the water from behind the bookstore down underneath that lot, down underneath Mel's and Mel's parking lot, the water coming down there is again starting to rib that wall. Above where they put in the new pre-formed cast tunnel. I think what we have to do, and this is the information on it, and the pictures I took at the time, is the pre-formed, cast pre-formed, have no linear lines where they build it. It's all one unit. The ones above that, up to behind the bookstore, are still the old wall that are just stone, pre-cast stone that they laid on top of each other. The water's going through it and washing the water out on the other side, causing the sinkholes. So I think what we need to do, should be, and I'd like to share this and talk to our solicitor. Petroleum owns that lot. They're the ones that had it repaired last time, but only repaired half of it, and not the whole. And I think we have to send them a letter and tell them that it needs addressed. We had a lot of correspondence with DEP because the company went in there and did a poor job. It was collapsing even before they started covering up. They left, We sent our pictures into DEP, complained about it, they have come back and ripped that other one end out. So I think we need to readdress this with Butler Petroleum, and have them go and do a repair again.
I say as soon as possible, obviously, if it's a whole drill.
Just had talked to them.
I talked to him, no. I called him actually, talked to him about it.
Yeah.
And, because I thought he took a load of stone and put one of those holes in, but he said he did not. They called Butler Petroleum, I forget what the conversation was about, but he didn't do anything.
No, I know.
So you volunteer to speak to a solicitor and give a letter?
I can do that, just here, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely, I'd say yes.
Okay, so everybody's going on it. Here's the pictures of the new collapse.
Those are rains that we've had. You come down the hill and it's just.
Yeah, well, no, those are old, they're not even in use. But well, since this picture's been, when was this picture taken?
Just after I met with you, I took.
Oh. You don't see it on here, but right in here is our pipe coming down, goes in. Yeah, that's not it. I'm surprised it's not a better picture, because it really does show. But anyways, if you see where ours comes in, it comes in above, and ours is soft. Matter of fact, Pat had Levi in there over this complaint, and our pipe's fine, it comes in high.
Yeah.
So this is their problem.
Here's the picture. I don't have it printed. Okay.
I think that point was made.
All right.
Okay, we'll get with our solicitor and get something ASAP on that, because it's just gonna grow without a
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people parking in that.
Oh, I know, yeah, I know. Okay, any more new business? Okay, if you all have the bills in front of you, we'll review them and motion to pay our bills.
I make a motion to accept the bills.
Second.
Motion by Michelle Langham, second by Paul Bauer to approve the bills. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Letters to be read? You have nothing? Okay, motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn, and I'll adjourn until week, which will be May 7th. May 7th. Be either